Hey guys, I appreciate you wanting to enjoy the show. First, I got to give a couple shout outs. First off, I want to give a shout out to dresscomfy.com. She has the latest and greatest for SneakyG man merch. So please check it out. dresscomfy.com. Also want to give a shout out to 3 a.m. water hydration for the go-getters. Natural spring water. Go get it. Now let's go do the damn thing. Before we do the damn thing, I got to give a shout out to George's Trophies, aka Sergeant M replica trophies. Guys, Father's Day coming up soon. This is the perfect gift. Matter of fact, this is the perfect gift for any occasion. I mean, who wouldn't want a replica Super Bowl trophy of their team? The team that got the ultimate prize, the Lombardi Trophy. So when you get a chance, go to his Facebook page, George's Trophies, a.k.a. Sergeant M's replica trophies. Now, we gonna do the damn thing.
You're listening to Make It Count, the SneakyG podcast on Northeast Streaming Sports.
Is this thing on?
It's your boy Stefan, a.k.a. SneakyG.
Yeah. Lyrical assassin.
Let's go, Giants! Ow! It's your boy Stefan, a.k.a. SneakyG. But today, with the whole talks of, Saquon and how he was possibly going to, maybe sit out of the year, this year or whatnot. And, the argument of him and the franchise tag and all that good stuff. As a fan on the outside looking in, I don't know the struggles. I don't know what the negotiation looks like. I don't know what it sounds like. I don't even know what it feels like. Okay. All I know is I like I said earlier, like a couple weeks back, I'm a hypocrite. I'm an honest to God hypocrite because I want Barkley to be on the field. I want him to sign a long-term deal. All right. But I also want him to do what's best for him. And he has to make a decision that he's ultimately going to have to live with for the rest of his life. And I got a guest here that if you're in the DFW area and you're an offensive lineman, if you don't know who this guy is, then you don't know football. If you're in the DFW area and you haven't, Googled him, tweeted out, whatever the case may be, this man knows his stuff about how to be a professional on and off the field. We're gonna talk about his college career. I do have Ant in the backstage as well too. I'll bring him on as well. Played for the Carolina Panthers, played in the Super Bowl, played with the Buffalo Bills in that instant classic game. Let me just stop wasting this time. Daryl, welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show, man.
What's going on, man?
Not much, bro. Not much.
So first off, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I just want to talk, let's talk about Trench Mob real quick. Okay. And the appreciation I have for you, because to me, you're kind of the individual, right? You've been there, done that. You know, the ins and outs, the fundamentals, if you will, of offensive linemen. And of course, with Nick, you're training Nick. And I just want to appreciate, first off, how much I appreciate you, what you're doing for my son. And, hopefully, it's ultimately, it's going to be on him. It's going to be on him on how he wants to perform. But for what you're showing him and basically, just sharpening up his craft, and let's just talk about that real quick. What you got?
So, I train offensive line and defensive line starting from 4th grade and up. So I train middle schoolers, I train high schoolers, I train college kids. I also train the NFL. And it just started randomly. It was something I wanted to do, but it started randomly when my trainer, Roman Mitchell, referred me to someone, the Humphreys. He referred them to me to train their son. And he's going into the 5th grade now. So I've been almost training him for almost a year, and it just grew from there.
And you basically, I've seen, and guys, please go to Instagram, go to TikTok, and you'll see what I'm talking about. You have I see that you have circles where they work with the hands, work with the feet, work with the balance. Being an offensive lineman, okay. Throughout college and throughout the pros, and I've always, even when I was playing football, and I was a quarterback back in the day. I don't know if I shared that with you. I've always had respect for my guys up front. And the rumor, right? The perception is that linemen aren't smart. And that's BS.
That's stupid.
That is so further from the. Of course, now this is just high school level. I did play semi-pro in Germany, but that's here or there or whatever. But I actually remember having that conversation. I defended him. I'm like, no, I don't think you understand the process of like a trap play. Where the center goes down and then you have that guard coming underneath, or even when the guard's got a pull. I don't think they understand that. If you can just kind of break up that perception. I know at a younger age, and of course in the pros, it's totally different. But how, I don't want to say difficult, but how much of a process it is to be an offensive lineman?
Man, first of all, I'm going to say, other than the quarterback, yeah, we're the smartest people on the field, on both sides of the field. Because we have to, in a sense, we definitely now have to kind of see the whole field as well, too. We have to see. I remember when I was first taught in college by Coach Beadenbow, check and see if the safeties are topped over the nickel or the Sam. That'll tell you if the nickel's coming. Or if the linebacker is aligned a certain way, that'll tell him if he's coming, And we have a certain technique for each and every play. And then on top of that, we all have to work together and communicate every play. Mm-hmm. Every play. And then on top of that, if we lose one play, we look stupid. We could be having the best game. We could give up a sack or just give up a tackle for loss, and we look dumb, and everybody's trash talking us. So, man, our job is very hard, and I think people are appreciating us more now. But I think people still don't understand.
So you normally do individual training, and then you do groups as well, right? Mm-hmm. So you do. When do you do the individual? I'm sorry. When do you do the individual trainings, and when? Because I know Nick, he meet up with you at 11:00 at Lake Dallas. So you do the one group session, or do you do more than just one group session?
So I typically do. My schedule is Monday. I train youth kids like 4th and 5th graders at 6:30 p.m. at the high school. And by the way, I use that indoors, so we have a facility. Trish Mouth has a facility.
Yes, because it is hot. It is hot.
It's hot, yeah. But people usually don't have a facility and with full equipment. And then on Tuesday, it's either high schoolers or middle school groups. Same time, 6:30. It'll be at my house. I have a huge backyard. I have football turf, and I got my own equipment, so we get active then. Same thing, same time on Wednesday, high schoolers, and now Thursday I've been doing at my house D lineman. Friday I take off, and then Saturday is usually when I have all ages. I have high schoolers, middle schoolers at certain times. I have college kids come in, NFL clients. So yeah, it varies. And then Sunday I take off. But individual sessions are first come, first serve. So whoever contacts me first, or through my site, or through email, text, or my social media, if they want to set up an individual session, that's first come, first serve.
Okay, perfect. And how can someone get in contact with you if they want to pursue this even further?
So right now, you can go to my website, www.trenchmobacademy.com, mob with 2 B's. And then I'm more active on Instagram and TikTok, Trench Mob Academy. Same thing with Facebook, Trench Mob Academy. And then I have a Twitter too. I'm probably going to butcher the name, but I think it's DWill_TMA. So, yeah.
Okay. Yep. And I know Nick's coach is very familiar with you. So I mean, obviously, Nick goes to Flower Mound, and I mean, your name coming from that coach, I mean, your name speaks volumes, and he highly recommended you to Nick, and then that's how I found you. Nice. And he messed up, guys. He gave me his number, and I haven't left him alone since. So now let's transition. So you played for Oklahoma in the Big Ten. What was it like?
Big 12.
I'm sorry, the Big 12. I'm sorry, Big 12. I'm thinking, I'm a Wolverines fan. My bad, and so is Ant. And Ant, I'm going to bring you here in a little bit. What was it like going from high school, Lake Dallas, and also you did a little track and field too, huh?
I threw shot put for 1 year. My second year I got hurt, so really 1 year. Yeah.
I too did shot put and discus.
How far you throw?
Not too far. But with some training, I'm pretty sure I can get it back. It's been a minute.
Yeah.
I would see, this is the moment where I wish I could talk some mess, but I'd be lying. I'd be straight up lying, I'd be like, I should make a hat bet with you like I did the Sam Williams. No, but so you went from playing high school football. How far did you guys go in the state playoffs with Dallas? Playing in Dallas.
With Lake Dallas, man, we didn't have a good playoff run when I was there. Me and James and some other teammates that were there. The furthest we went into the second round, and then we got knocked out. We played. I think my sophomore year we played West Mesquite. My junior year we played. God, I can't remember, but yeah, my first 2 years we were one and done, and then my senior year we lost in the second round. Man, it was crazy because we thought we were going to make a deep run.
And what were you 5A or 6A?
We were 4A.
4A. Okay.
We're still 4A. Yeah.
Gotcha. Now I realize that in Texas there's like 32 teams in this. I mean, is it the same for the 4A division?
So, I mean, are you talking about when we get to playoffs or like?
Yeah, I'm talking about playoffs because it's like area by area, playoffs, regional by regional, then quarterfinal. I mean, it's like you playing a damn near season.
Playoffs is deep, but I wouldn't know because I only made I wouldn't know. But shout out to Lake Dallas, man. I want to give a shout out to Coach Young, both the Youngs, but when I left, they made it to the I think it's the semifinal, so it's like the round before state.
Yeah. Kind of like the conference game.
Yeah, they barely lost. Like it was like one of those movie type games, man. So, the school definitely damn near been close,
So then you went to college, Oklahoma. Mm-hmm. What was the recruitment process like for you?
Man, it was crazy. I didn't even know what I was getting into, to be honest, because I started football in 8th grade. But I was just playing football for fun. I wasn't thinking about college or nothing like that. I didn't even watch college football. And then the AD, he's still the AD there now, Coach Head, he came in the locker room one day before practice, and he gave me a letter, and it was from Texas Tech. And that was my first scholarship. And I was excited, but I still didn't understand it. It was a big deal. And then after that, I just kept getting more scholarships. Like my backpack was full of just scholarships, no books, you know what I mean? It was just scholarships, or letters or, stuff like that. So I took some visits, took some junior day visits, did a couple camps. And then I think I took my official visit to Oklahoma and I committed there. But the cool thing was with that is Coach Stoops came down to my house, sat down in the living room, ate dinner with us. My mom made spaghetti that night and ate dinner with us and was just chatting it up. It was cool.
Now, wait, pause. Hold on. Was that spaghetti bussin'?
What?
Was it? I mean, I'm just saying.
Man.
That's why he was like, this spaghetti good. You got to come to Oklahoma. This some good. I don't know what you put in this sauce, but I'm gonna take a plate home with me to So when you got to Oklahoma and you redshirted. Now, obviously, redshirting in 2010 was different than redshirting now because it was pre-COVID. There was no NIL deal or a thing called the portal now. Well, before you got to college, what did you do to stand out? Like from this conversation right here, I go tell Nick, hey, this is what you need to do to get a backpack full of scholarships. What is it that you did?
That's a good question. Honestly, man, and the difference between, well, I mean, I don't want to say difference, but like I had the size already. Like I had the height. I was skinny though. Like I weighed like 240 at the time. So I was skinny, but I was still getting scholarships because I was super athletic. But honestly, I would say for anybody or Nick, just be dominant. Be confident in what you do and be dominant. Like for offensive linemen, coaches want to see them dominate in the run game, finish guys down the field, or and be nasty. In the pass game, they want to see them, take the proper sets, use their hands, and still be nasty too and be physical. So that's what I would say for anybody, trying to get looked at or scholarship. So
is it kind of like what I mean, as Coach Prime would say, as a D lineman, he wants a single, mom home. Quarterback, he wants a 2-parent, so with a lineman, I mean, you want them to have like a single dad home, right? Where only the dad raises let me stop.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I got what he was saying, though. I'm not gonna lie. I got what he was saying.
I think everybody did. I honestly did. I think everybody in that football arena, that played the game, understands it. Because I mean, you got to eat, and it's matter of fact, Nick started off on defense. His 8th grade year. And the coach said to me, he was like, we need to get him angry. And I looked at the coach and I said, just take his phone away. That'll piss him off. But no, but then, Nick ended up getting on the offense, and that's where he found his love. Now, he'll tell you he'll love to play defense again. But he did find his love offense. And like I told you, when we talked previously, he's one of those quiet assassins. Yeah. So let me ask you this. So you play high school ball, you barely, made a dent in the state playoffs, but you go to OU and you win a conference championship. What was that feeling like?
I mean, my first year there, like you said, I redshirted, so I didn't really have a big part in that, but it was still dope. You get, the first time I went to Oklahoma and took my visit, Coach Stoops takes you in his office. He shows all his rings and stuff like that. So I was like, damn, I'm getting a ring. And the ring is dope. So after that, I think I helped get 2 more conference championship rings. So
right.
Anytime you win the conference or the division, that's still a big thing. You know what I mean?
And I understand where you're coming from when you say, you redshirted, but you still got on the field. You still contribute in your own way to win that first one. But I understand where you got to put your funk on that championship to make it feel like you actually earned it.
Exactly.
Now, for the first one that you earned, was it 2013?
The first one, yeah. Damn.
All right.
I think it was 2012. I think.
Okay.
2012. Damn, did I only win 2? I gotta check it. I think I won 2 or 3, but I think the first one was 2012. And yeah, that was a good feeling, man. That was a good feeling.
And you got drafted by the Carolina Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you got to play with Cam Newton.
Yep.
And it was your rookie season that you guys dominated
Yeah.
the NFL. 15-1. Carolina Panthers, top seed in the NFC, end up playing Arizona for the NFC Championship, the right to play in the Super Bowl, right? Talk about that feeling, that whole week of preparation. It was at home, so you didn't have to worry about traveling. If you can kind of take us back to 2015, I'll tell you exactly. I was in Denver. I was actually in Denver when that happened. We were heading to, I had to go to some kind of training, and we had to go to Colorado Springs, and I drove past Mile High when they actually during the AFC Championship game. Oh, I was so pissed, but I want to say no, because you guys were the night game, weren't you?
Yeah, we were the night game. Yep.
Yeah. So by the time we got to the hotel, I was able to enjoy and watch you guys beat up on the Cardinals. So that week of preparation, what was, just kind of tell us, what was that like?
Honestly, it's the same. Like, we don't try to, like, in the NFL, you don't try to change anything up just because it's a championship game or a playoffs. You don't, because at a certain time, a point in the season, like, guys are tired or beat up because, it's a physical game. So at a certain point in time, like, we take off the pads, we stop going in full pads at that point in the season. You know what you're supposed to do. You know what I mean?
Right.
So we didn't change anything, and I think that's how you should do it, because what's the point? We were 15-1 at the time. Why change anything up? So you really don't change anything up for that conference game or even playoffs. We didn't change anything.
So when you played against Arizona, you stepped on that field in Carolina. Was it fair to say that you had you guys had a confidence that there was no way we were not leaving with the Howard Trophy?
Man, let me tell you this, man. That is the best team I've been a part of in my whole life. As a rookie too, because we had some, and I don't know if I can go, we had some badass motherfuckers, bro.
Say it. You can say it.
And they weren't just badass motherfuckers on the field, but they were great leaders. So Cam, obviously, he was doing his thing that year. On the O-line, we had Ryan Khalil, we had Michael Orr, we had my boy Trey Turner. Who else? Jonathan Stewart, really good running back. Mike Tolbert,
yeah.
Some dogs. And then on defense, we had Luke Kuechly, bro, Thomas Davis. We just had dogs, and they were great leaders too. So when I was a young pup, they were trying to make sure I'm ready to go. I couldn't slack off. I couldn't bullshit around. So they were, hard on me because, everybody wanted to win the Super Bowl this year. And, every year teams say that, but like, you just get a different sense of feeling that year in 2015. And we just had a great sense of family too, as well. So, man, that's definitely the best team I've ever been a part of.
So I'm looking here. You guys had the number 1 ranked offense for points, ranked 11 for yards, and you were top 10 on defense for points and yards. You guys were 6th for points and yards. You definitely had some dogs on that.
Dogs, bro.
Yep. Cam Newton was the leading passer, obviously, because he was starting. Stewart was their leading rusher, and then Olsen from the U.
Greg, come on.
Olsen from the U.
Killing it. He was killing it.
So when you finally had your moment with the Howard Trophy, right? Knowing, this feels good. I want the next one. I mean, I know that's the initial feeling, but you guys are NFC champs. NFC champ, and you got that trophy right in front of you. What was the first thing that went to your mind? To me, I'm gonna ask you this. I would think, on the outside looking in, that there would be a moment of reflection, right? I'm talking like you're envisioning Lake Dallas, your time in Oklahoma, and now here you are, one game, one step away, but here you are with this trophy, and you know what? I'm gonna say that I'm an old head. I don't like the new conference. I like the new conference trophy, but I don't at the same time because I like the big one, the big old Hallis trophy. Mm-hmm. But you got that one, and you're looking at it. Did you talk to it? Did you whisper sweet nothings to it? What was the first thought that came to mind?
Honestly, bro, I don't even think I touched that thing, to be honest, bro.
Are you serious?
I was a rookie, bro. I'm telling you. I was a rookie, bro, and they didn't play no games with me. So I was happy. My first thought when we won that game, I was like, yeah, we're going to win the Super Bowl. But, I stayed in my lane. I was quiet. I didn't want to piss nobody off. You
got your hat though, right? You got your hat and t-shirt, right?
Hat, t-shirt, all that. But nah, bro. I was a rookie. I was trying to just do right every second of my life, my rookie year.
And there's nothing wrong. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. You said stay in your lane. I know exactly what it means to stay in your lane. So you get to the Super Bowl, and what moment, if any, did you realize it ain't gonna go my way, or it ain't gonna go the way that I want it to?
I think once Von Miller got that strip sack in the end zone, I was like, all right, that's pretty bad. And then it just and that's the thing about that year. We literally just played our worst game ever. Mm-hmm. After that strip sack, everything just started going wrong. Turnovers. But on offense, I think defense played a solid game, just from my point of view. But on offense, we just played the worst game that we ever played that season. You know what I mean? And that's football. That's a game, man. It's a game.
And it's funny you bring that up because I was watching. I binge watched that Netflix Quarterbacks. Okay.
Yeah.
And you get to see the process of the three quarterbacks, Patrick Mahomes, Kirk Cousins, and Mariota. And it's crazy. So okay, let me tell you a bit about me. Okay. Anytime I played flag football. Okay. After I got my last concussion, the wife told me I wasn't playing football anymore. And I got put on a team, or I should say I created a team with the help of other people. We had this powerhouse team. I showed you the rings we won, right? Yeah. And anytime I threw a pick or, that one play that cost the game, I always thought about the next play. I never focused on that one play that was the turning point. Of course, there's always, if we didn't have this, if he would have caught this pass, something small like a wide open receiver not catching the pass, could change the texture of the game, if you will. And that strip did kind of change the dynamic of the game. But, Peyton didn't even have a good game that day.
Peyton, no disrespect to Peyton. He was on his way out. He had that surgery in him. He was just old.
Yeah.
Defense played good.
So, however, and I know this was I got to tell everybody about our first conversation, if you don't mind.
I can't even remember our first conversation.
Well, so we talked about Nick, and then I talked about your conference ring.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, guys. So the first time I talked to we talked about Nick. I said, okay, now that we got that out of the way, I got to ask you a serious question. And I even asked Tiki Barber this question. Okay. And I want you to tell everybody. So even though you won the conference, but you didn't get the Super Bowl, why don't you wear your ring?
Because we didn't get the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I've honestly never heard of someone, unless it's college, wearing their conference ring. You know what I mean? Because if you go to the conference, if you go after you're done with the conference, and you go to the Super Bowl and you don't win, that's what you're left with. You know what I mean? I'm not thinking about when we won the conference. You know what I mean?
Right.
We lost the Super Bowl, bro. It was this close
Yeah.
to having a Super Bowl ring. You know what I mean? Doing the damn near unachievable.
So with that, right? And please, I know this may sound like a stupid question. I've lost big games, not like the Super Bowl, right? Not like the Super Bowl. And tell me if the feeling is exactly the same. When I lost, I mean, so I've won a couple tournaments, I've won a lot of champions, but I've also lost quite a few. And it's hard to get to the championship game. It is hard, okay? To get there, it's hard. To win it is even harder because you can do everything right and still lose, right? And for me, walking off the field, it's like kissing my sister. I'm talking like full open mouth, tongue, everything. That's exactly how it feels. I mean, is that fair to say?
I ain't gonna say all that.
Well, no. I mean, I don't have a sister, so I mean, I don't know if you have a sister. If you have a sister, then you don't answer. But I mean, like, I'm saying the feeling is like it's.
I would say it's a nightmare though. Like it's something that's still still in the back of my mind. It's still like you still think about it. Like
You never let it go. Yeah.
You never let it go.
And to this day, man, to this day. Wait, what's that fighter? To this day.
Wilder, bro.
Man, there's. I'm gonna tell you what haunts me. Since we're digging into here, I'm gonna tell you what haunts me, and then we'll move on to. And I got to bring Ant in here too. I had the squad in 2006. 2006. I had the squad. Now, so we would play on a military installation. We played twice a week. Okay. We actually played, and they broke it down in AFC, NFC. And there were 10 teams in each conference. And we was dominant. We went 8-2. Okay. But let me tell you how dominating we were, right? We got on the field and the refs, let me back up. We shut out 3 teams that year, right? And there was a rule, a mercy rule, that if we were up by 30 at halftime, the game was over. Like it was a wrap. So there were 3 games where we didn't even finish halftime. I mean, it was 42-0, 35. I mean, it was you want to talk about, you had a squad. We had a squad.
Yeah.
Refs would look at us and be like, so the game started so we were always the last game at 8:00, right? 6, 7, and 8. That's when they had anyway. So the refs would be like, we about to have an early night, fellas. And anyway, so we get to the playoffs and it's 2-game elimination, right? Won our first game, dominate, just destroyed. Okay. Second round of the playoffs, and this would give us the right to play in the semifinals. I'm sorry. We're playing in basically the winner bracket. I guess because we had to win one more game and then we were in the championship. So yeah, it was like the quarterfinals or whatnot in the winners bracket. And we were up 19-0. 19-0 in the second half. Our hothead, right? And their hothead on the squad. They took a swing at our hothead, and of course, our guy swung back. And which one did the ref see?
Obviously, the second.
Yes, they don't see the action; they see the reaction.
Yeah.
And the one black ref that was on the field, so the rule is once you get kicked off the field, you got a minute, or that's an automatic forfeit. So he said, "You out," and then he did this. Watching his watch. And I'm trying to tell this dude to get off the field. I'll get your stuff, whatever.
So your homeboy wasn't getting off the field.
He was not getting off the field. Automatic forfeit.
Wow.
So we had to stay on the field, play another game. And we made it to the loser bracket semifinals. And we actually lost to the team that ended up winning the whole thing. In the losers bracket, they had to beat the team twice, whatever. This is 2006. 2006, and I'm still thinking. And you know what? I got a conference ring for that, but I don't wear it.
No, you can't wear it. Not after, and that's what I'm saying. Not after that, bro. You can't wear it.
Because I look at it and I'm like,
You think
anyway,
about
okay.
that game.
Anyway, so I want to talk to you because in your career, and this is why I'm going to bring Ann in here. I didn't forget about you. I promise you, Ann.
So I posted in the chat when you guys were talking about why you don't wear the conference championships. And my point of view is who wants to wear a participation trophy? I mean, think about it. Who wants to wear that?
It's like
you had a great team, but you didn't quite do it. Nobody wants to do that.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
To me, I just look at it as you still had to win it to get that.
Yeah.
That's my take from it. That's how my mental or my positive spin on it was. But I mean, I get it.
I mean, you asked me, somebody off the street, would you wear a conference championship in the NFL? You know, if you made it to the Super Bowl, me, yeah, I'm wearing it.
Right, exactly, yeah.
So let me. So back to that point. So that after that year, I had a former teammate. He played with me in Oklahoma. He was on the Broncos team that won. And him and my wife and his wife, you know, they were friends at the time. So they had a destination wedding, and we ended up going. And every time I saw him, he just laughed at me about the Super Bowl, bro. You know what I mean? It hurts, bro. I'm not gonna wear a conference ring. Like, all they're gonna think about is, oh yeah, we beat you in the Super Bowl. All I'm gonna think about is, yeah, we lost the Super Bowl.
Yeah. And you know, it's funny. They say the perfect gift to give someone is a watch, because if you know, depending on how that relationship ended, determines, you know, if they still wear that watch or not. Because when they go see what time it is, you're like, damn, I let that one go. You know,
see, now
I should call her. You know,
my brother's wife thinks totally different on the watch. If her thing is, if someone buys you a watch, that means time's running out. As far as couples, if someone buys you a pair of sneakers, that means they're gonna run out on you. I'm like, bro, you got to chill with that.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
Well, I'll tell you what, my wife bought me a Movado watch, and that bitch is nice, and I ain't going nowhere. So, I mean, I'll tell you that right now. So now that I got you here, and I'm pouring water in my cup, negotiating a contract. So I know you went from the Panthers to the Buffalo Bills. You signed, it was a 4-year deal, right?
So I went from the Panthers to the Bills. I signed a 1 year. Then
that's right. The next contract was a 4-year.
It was a 3-year. It was a 3-year.
Oh, 3 years.
Yeah.
So contracts in the NFL, they're not guaranteed, right?
Nah. So
I hope I didn't open up another sore spot.
This is a sore spot for me.
And I mean, and again, I want you to educate not only myself but people that are watching, all 4 of them. You know, that whole process, because the situation with Barkley, it doesn't make sense to me. I'm not going to speak for everybody, but to me. So you had the 1-year deal, and that's is that what you would consider the prove it deal with Buffalo?
Yeah, I had a prove. Yeah, that was basically a prove it deal. 1 year. Yeah.
So just that alone, how much pressure is that on a player?
I mean, I would say any deal is pressure, bro. I mean, yeah, of course, a prove it deal is pressure, but any deal, like, unless your contract, unless you got hella dollars in that contract, or if your contract says fully guaranteed, or if you have, or the signing bonus is guaranteed as well. That's the signing bonus is fully guaranteed, and if you see that screen, the scrolling at the bottom of the ESPN screen, it says fully guaranteed contract. That's fully guaranteed. Now, if that just says guaranteed, blah blah blah, there's hidden stuff in that contract to make that money guaranteed. If you get what I'm saying. So there's incentives, there's escalators, Like for me, I had an escalator and I had incentives in my last contract. So that was part of some of the guaranteed money, but I have to earn that, you know what I mean? Or I have to be on the roster at a certain point in time, you know what I mean? So again, if it says fully guaranteed, yeah, that's fully guaranteed. If it's a signing bonus, a woot, yeah, that's guaranteed. But other than that, yeah, no, you working for that money.
So I know a lot of people were, coming at Giant fans about the Daniel Jones contract.
Mm-hmm.
But when you dig into it and you go into the weeds, he got 82 million guaranteed. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, I know it's 80 something. And
I think it was 86.
86 guaranteed.
86 $86 million.
But when you look at it though, it's only a 2-year deal because the team can opt out of him in 2 years.
Yeah.
So if the best you can, of course, just go off of your experience.
I can speak from my experience. So, okay, and I'm not going to break down the numbers or nothing.
No.
After my third year with the Panthers, I had an all-pro season. So we were in negotiation with the Panthers to get an extension. So they finally, we got to the final number, in which, by the way, negotiations take forever.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was sitting there biting my nail. You know what I mean? I'm just thinking about it every day, hitting up my agent, like, hey, what's going on? It takes forever. So finally, when they get back with the final contract, like say, hey, the GM will say, hey, this is it. This is all we're going to offer him. So that deal for me, my agent told me, if I remember correctly, comparing it to Barkley's, my deal was like a 1-year deal. It was 4 years, but really 1 year of guaranteed money, and that was really just the signing bonus. So it will say 4 years, blah, 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 whatever number, and then the guarantee number would be this. My guarantee number was only my signing bonus within that contract. Mm-hmm. So I didn't have any incentives. I didn't have escalators. That was it. It was the signing bonus that was fully guaranteed. So my agent was like, hey, this is your third year. This isn't a bad contract, but you just made second team All-Pro. You told me you're feeling confident. So you just got to play one more year really good, and you can really break the bank, break the bank. Sorry, I'm tongue-tied today.
Yeah, no, I do it all the time. I do, and I mess up names. So go ahead.
But that's where the pressure comes. So yeah, I didn't take that contract because I was like, yeah, just play one more year. I'm feeling hella confident, like hella confident. So yeah, but it was still pressure for me. I'm still thinking about that contract. I should have took that money. So my fourth year, second or third day of training camp, I tear my patella. I dislocate my patella. Yeah. Dislocate my patella. So I'm like, damn, I should have took that money. So I talked to the doctor. They're like, okay, you can recover in 6 weeks and possibly play the first game of the year, or you can have season-ending surgery. He broke it down in a percentage, and so I'm thinking I want to play because I still want to get that. I want to get that big contract after this year. So I ended up doing it, and I feel like I rushed into that first game. Mm-hmm. So I think I got to the fourth. We played the Cowboys at home.
Fourth quarter.
I got to that fourth game, the fourth quarter.
Yep.
I think there was like 8 minutes left on the clock. So I was like, yeah, I'm about to make it. I didn't play my best game, but I played good enough. About to make it. A tight end on our team throws DeMarcus Lawrence into his helmet into the same knee that I jacked up, and I completely blew out my knee. I had a brace on it and everything. Completely blew out my knee, bro. Completely blew out my knee. So after that, I'm working my butt off, recovery, blah, 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 physical therapy, surgery, all that. They still offer me a deal. They still offer me a long-term deal, but, it was obviously less, but it was still good money, but we still felt like we can go into free agency and make more. And then that's where that Prove It deal came. Nobody offered me anything more because, they were worried about my knee.
Right.
So, and that's where the NFL has to do better with the guaranteed money. You know what I mean? Because you can get injured anytime, anytime.
Right. So Barkley was big, and again, I know I say Barkley, and I want headway with this because I don't want to put you in a situation. I want you to speak for your experiences, and your experiences only. So when Barkley was talking about, being a Giant for life, but also doesn't want to be disrespected, is there a way that you can be respected and also still have loyalty?
I mean, honestly, he's respected, but I get he wants to be paid like he's respected. You know what I mean?
Right.
And the only way is if they both come to terms. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's really two people coming to terms. It's the GM or so to speak, the organization paying Barkley what he wants to get paid. It comes down to two people, two things or whatever. And I ain't gonna lie, that shit sucks, man. He definitely needs to get paid.
Oh, I agree wholeheartedly.
100%.
I wanted to ask you real quick. So when you're doing contract negotiations and they talk about, what the market is at each position, how big and how important is what the market is? How important is that?
I think it's huge because that's the big thing on it. You want to get paid what your market value is. So, and I'm going to just use my experience.
Of course.
Again, going into my my negotiations with my second contract with the Bills, the 3-year deal. I took the deal because my agent was like, yeah, that's pretty much your market value. So I was like, okay, yeah, I'll go back to the team that I love. I was very comfortable. I just rejuvenated my career. I was like, yeah, I'll go back. That's my market value. So after, and I'll jump into this already. So after my first year with them on the deal, they asked me, after the season, they asked me for a pay cut. So I'm like, hold on. I'm like, what?
And did that come out of nowhere? Like, how does that conversation starts off? Like, I'm really curious about that.
So for me,
if you don't want to get in the nitty gritty, you don't have to.
No, I mean, no, I don't care about talking about it. It's funny, but this is the first time I'm openly talking about it, which is crazy. I thought I would never openly talk about it, but I don't mind talking about it at all. But I wasn't shocked because, first off, and again, I'll just start saying by this, I have no ill will towards the Bills. I have no ill will. Mm-hmm. I still love those guys. I have no ill will to anybody. But the GM there is notoriously, they do pay cuts. They do it a lot more than other organizations from what I see, from my opinion. So, I've seen some of my teammates already get pay cuts. So I wasn't surprised by it. I was like, yeah, he may ask me for a pay cut. But that year, I mean, what he told me is basically he's asking me for a pay cut because they had asked me to move to guard because we were having offensive line issues that year. So that year on my first big contract deal, I was actually flip-flopping from right guard to right tackle. Mm-hmm. And I was still performing well, in my opinion. So I wasn't shocked, but I still felt disrespected. I'm like, I felt like I did a lot for the team at a flip of the switch, going back from right guard to right tackle. And if you guys still remember, this was the second year of COVID. It was dying down, but it was still COVID. Mm-hmm. So we were still testing. So people say a lineman will test positive for COVID. So he's out. So I would have to flip back to right tackle or right guard on a Thursday or Friday.
Right.
Yeah. So basically how it works in the NFL, Wednesday's your big workload day. You may do full pads or whatever, but that's your full workload day. Thursday, you're definitely taking the pads off. I say it's like a maybe 60% workload day. Friday, that ain't no workload day. That's all mental. So Thursday, when you get to Thursday or Friday, you already have your game plan. I'm already watching film at a certain position on a certain player. So then when they come and tell me, oh, homeboy's out, you got to switch back to right tackle. I'm like, damn, right. And I'm one of those guys, and I swear my wife can testify to this. I'm one of the first people in the building. I go do my lift. I go, do my cold tubs or whatever, my treatment. I'll watch film. So I start my film. I actually started my film probably at least by Monday. So I'm already trying to get a jump on the opponent. So when someone tells me on a Thursday or Friday, oh, you got to go back to right guard, I'm like, damn, bro, like that's hard. So
Yeah.
So I felt disrespected when they came to me and were like, hey, we want to ask you for a pay cut. So I was like, nah, I'm not doing that. I was like, nah, I'm not doing it. My wife agreed. So we wanted to test, free agency.
Yeah, I think I'd have been aggravated with that too. And from a fan's perspective in that situation, I now see get the understanding of the disrespect, because here you are jumping around for these guys, doing the best you can at that position wherever you're playing, and that makes you a more versatile player. And the disrespect comes from, hey, take a pay cut. It's not cool. It's not cool on any level.
Yeah, and I would just say for Barkley, like we all know, if you watch the Giants, I watched pretty much of the games last year of the Giants. They ran the offense through Barkley. You know what I mean?
Right.
He was Barkley's back, bro. He's back. He came back that year, killing it, bro. So it's like,
and you're familiar with Joe Shane and Dable, right?
I am, yeah. So Dable, I love Dable, man. Dable, really good coach. Joe Shea, all of them, man. All those guys up there that are up there now, yeah, they're really good.
So and yeah, let's kind of talk on Dable real quick. So I met Coach one time last year, training camp. Very approachable. To me, and correct me if I'm wrong, to me, he seems like a coach that he's a player's coach.
Yeah.
To me, he seems like a player's coach. And I want to say were a lot of Buffalo's successes kind of because he was the offensive coordinator, in that AFC Championship game, which I'm sorry, one of the best games that I've seen. Okay. I'm glad I wasn't a Buffalo Bill fan or a Chiefs fan, because I would have had more gray hair that one night. But anyway. However, even though he's a player's coach, he's going to hold you accountable.
Oh my, yeah, 100%. 100%. He don't like, but that's what I like about Dale. He's like a regular dude off the street, but his confidence too is so high. He has high, like, I'm not gonna tell a story, but his confidence is crazy. What
stories can you tell us about Dable?
I'm not gonna say that. But
okay. I'm definitely not gonna push.
I'll just say like we used to have a lot of games in the locker room or in the meeting rooms, and he's over there competing with players. Like receivers, digs, or whatever, like shooting hoops or whatever, competing, high confidence, man. Like, and that rubbed off on us, and then his intelligence, bro. He knows the game. He's been in the game for a long time. He knows the game. So he knows how to defeat defenses or attack their weaknesses. So, yeah.
So, and let me ask you this, right? Let's say you yourself, right, didn't have a best practice, or there was a situation, a game that you didn't perform at a level that he felt you could have performed at. I've seen him chew Jones out on the sideline, right? Mm-hmm. But I think that's just the emotion of the game. Like, how does he approach you? Is he the type that would just come in, kind of get at you, or he'll pull you to the side and be like, hey, like what kind of approach does he take?
I got a story, and I hate, this is one of those things that stick in the back of my head too. Like, so we were playing the Saints. I want to say it was on Thanksgiving.
I want to tell you, if you tell us a story, I promise I ain't gonna tell nobody.
No, I don't. If I tell,
it's gonna be on YouTube. So
if I tell a story, I don't care who hears it. But we were playing the Saints. We were in the red zone. And I was going against Cam Jordan the whole game at right tackle, and I think I flipped.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think I flipped that week too randomly. But anyways, so we changed the snap count on one play. And so the center didn't hear it. And so I got off the ball late, and he's about to sack Josh. Thank God Josh is the best eluding at getting away from pressure. So Josh got away from him, thank God. So halftime, we didn't score a point. We just kicked the field goal, but we could have scored, 7. So we get in halftime. He comes in there. He because my left tackle at the time was having a hard time too. But he comes in there and calls us out in front of everybody. And if you guys don't realize, but away game locker rooms are the worst. And they're very small and condensed. So technically you're in front of the whole team. So he blasts us all in front of, everybody. And I like that. I mean, he's just holding us accountable. And that's, I mean, all you can do is respect that. You know what I mean? Dabo is one of the best for sure.
Yeah. And of course, I don't follow the Bills, right? Y'all won that game?
Yeah, we won that game. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I respect the approach that Coach Dable takes on that, and my feeling on that is I'd probably be the same kind of coach because, again, it's not about calling out your players and like pointing a finger. It's like calling out your players in front of everybody, letting everybody know that nobody's safe. If you mess up, you're called out. Period.
Exactly. And he didn't play no favor. He called out Josh before. He's called out everybody. You know what I mean? It's just holding people accountable in the heat of battle because we need you to, step up so we can win this game. Right. Simple as that.
This is a Chiefs fan, and she said that game was so stressful, but it was so worth it. I bet it was for you. Oh, and Chris is I know you met Dallas Cowboy Chris over the weekend. He said it was great meeting you.
Yeah, nice meeting you too, bro.
And also Shane was one of the executives, so you really didn't deal too much with Joe, did you?
He was more of the contract side, no?
I know he was like in scout. I know he was like a lot of the scouting, and then he was like maybe number 2 or in the top echelon of the GM.
He's the GM now for the Giants, right?
Yes. Yep. Joe Shane is.
Yeah. So that's funny, man. And they were trying to get me to come up there, but it wasn't. It was like a minimum deal. So I could have been a Giant last year. That's crazy, but I didn't want to take a minimum deal.
That'd have been crazy.
Yeah, it would have been. I really wanted to go up there, but I think they had cap issues or something like that. But
we were in salary cap hell.
Yeah, I really wanted to go up there. That would have been cool.
Hell. And call me biased, but navy blue would look really good on you.
I like
navy
them
blue.
colors.
Yeah,
I like them colors.
Yeah, I like to call it Dave Gettleman, the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey,
had we not have Galladay, you would have been on the team.
Yeah,
but he was my GM in Carolina.
Oh, was
that's right.
That's right.
Dave Gettleman drafted me, so I owe him a lot too. I mean, respect to him. He drafted me, so. But yeah, no. Yeah.
Again, we talk about Dave Gettleman. That's who drafted Saquon.
Yeah, true.
And Jones too. And Jones.
Yeah.
I talked to Gettleman. I want to say it was 2021 when the Giants came here in Dallas, and I have the 4 replica Super Bowl rings and the NFC Championship ring, and I was showing him off to him, and I'm like, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to get me one of these, and he said, we'll do our best. Yeah, he retired that year. That was the year he retired.
He's a good dude, though. He's a really good dude.
You know what? He came to me. I got a selfie with him. I can't complain. I think for me, I try and see the positive in everybody. Okay. And I appreciate the way he drafted players because we got Andre Thomas in the first round.
Andrew.
Andrew, see, I told you I mess up names. And then we also got McKinney in the second round, which I thought was awesome. And then the following year, that's where we got KT and then Ozies.
The first, yeah.
Y'all drafted, is that last year? Y'all drafted a right tackle in the first round. I forgot his name, but he's
Evan Neal.
Oh,
yeah.
Neal, yeah. That was Joe Shane's first draft.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was his first draft.
We took Kayvon Thibodeau with 5, and then Evan Neal with 7.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And so, and let's talk about those two guys right now, Thomas and Neal. What do you see in those guys that stands out to you that they deserve to be a top 10 pick?
So with Neil, he's very physical in the run game. Like, easily, very physical. He has a good size. He's built. I say though, he needs to clean up his pass protection. But as a rookie, you're a rookie. You're throwing in there. You're going against dogs at the D-line position. So, and honestly, I know the O-line coach, Bobby Johnson. He's going to get him right. Yeah, he's going to get him right. So, I mean, that was his first year. He's going to get him right. So, I think once he cleans up his pass pro, he's going to be, legit for y'all.
And he's another one of those offensive linemen that you can bounce around, put him in different spots. And he's done it with Alabama a lot of times. Yeah. Like, he'll tell you.
Did he play left tackle at Alabama too?
Yeah,
I think he did. Yeah. And also with Neil, you're right. Last year was his rookie year. Yeah. We actually had a Cowboys fan last year critique him, called him a bust after a preseason game.
No.
One preseason game, called him. I mean, how do you what?
It's hard out here.
I mean, I'm not gonna say his name, Kurtz, but I'm just saying, to call somebody out on a preseason game, I dismissed it. I mean, right off the cuff, right? I didn't even entertain the thought.
Yeah, preseason's that's tough to. I mean, again, it's just the hate for the Giants. And my feeling is again, you got to keep an open mind when it comes to a rookie, even as a fan. As much as you want to kill people, and get on them about stuff. Rookies, they'll take a little time. And I don't know if anybody saw it. Evan Neal got better each game.
He did.
So, so to come out this year, I don't want to say there's no excuses because everybody knows about the sophomore jinx and, but I think he'll be one of those guys that gets through it.
Yeah.
So I don't want to keep it too long. I only have a few more questions and then I really thank you for this time. And if you want to take any questions, because what I'll do is I'll share the link, and if you want to I could bring people on if they want to ask you questions, if you're okay, or if it's too late for you, however you want to do it, it's fine. But I want to get your impressions on Thomas.
I think from what I remember watching him, he has what am I trying to say? High. I know I'm probably gonna mess this up. He has high effort. I forgot what the term for it. He has a high motor. That's what it is. That's what I want to say. He has a very high motor, and I think he has high potential, very high potential. That's what stood out to me, though. His motor, though, his effort, his will to finish.
And we did get Schmidt too this year as a center. I really speaking on Joe Shane, I really like the way he drafts players.
Yeah.
We got 3 first rounders basically in this year's draft. And for me, I'm just excited to see what we could do. Hopefully. Now, okay, let me ask you, this is going to be the $1 million question I was going to ask, right? And if you don't want to answer, now this is you and this is your position, okay? Because it is Barkley related, but this is you though, okay? Would you sign the tag or would you sit out the year? That's a tough one, and I'm sorry.
I don't even know if I can answer that. I mean, because his tag, what is it worth up to 10?
It's like 10 mil. Yeah. One of the low, and it went down.
The tag went down?
For running backs, yeah. How they're doing running backs is dirty. I'll be honest.
Yeah, no, it is dirty.
But you're an offensive lineman.
Yeah.
And they're tagging you. Now we're not talking about Barkley. We're talking about Darrell Williams, all pro, and they're gonna tag you.
But the money,
and I don't even know.
You can't ask me for an offensive line because the money's way different. Like that.
Yeah, I know, and I don't even know what the going rate is. I don't even know.
All I know is it's high.
So you're like, I'm signing it.
If they ask me to do a tag as an offensive line, I'll probably take that. That's
okay. And you know what? Hey, there we go. I'll take that.
If I'm Barkley, it's hard because, like, again, it goes back to, like, basically he was be off. You know what I mean? They were running the offense through Barkley. The team was on his back. You know what I mean? So
I think another part where he feels disrespected too is, and if you look at some of the interviews he had, it's almost like I'm speaking on his behalf, but this is how I took it. He basically said that when the Giants came to him and offered him during the bye week last year that $12.5 million. We don't know how long it was. We just know that was the base of his yearly annual salary. The way I took it is he took it as, okay, we're going to give you this, and it's based on your injury history. Now I know teams do that, but then when they came back to him, he said, the tag is there, but that's where I think he feels most disrespected, because now he's saying that the tag almost makes him feel like it's a prove it deal. And he doesn't like that because he feels he proved it last year.
definitely, and I've been kind of in that position, but it just sucks that he's a running back. That's what
I think
running backs.
I think running backs are probably the most undervalued position in football today, especially considering the life expectancy of a running back is basically maybe 3 to 5 years. That's not a lot.
And what I like about Barkley, and to include the offensive line, having a running back, it wears a team down.
Come on.
I mean, the third and the fourth quarter, when it's the third quarter and it's 5 minutes left, and you don't want Barkley running at you.
We call those body blows, dog.
You don't want that constant just pounding and just running and having people like you coming straight out of linebacker, head first with that ferociousness of an offensive line, and then here you got Barkley coming right behind him. It's just and not only on the field, but what the value that he has off the field.
Yeah.
I think is being remiss. And again, I said this all the time. As a fan, it's like I am being a hypocrite because again, I want him on the field.
Yeah.
But I want him to get the bag. Yeah. And the Giants, and what I mean by the Giants, I mean Joe Shane and his staff, they're not going to overpay someone. Because let's be honest, they have a job too.
Yeah.
I mean, if and to be fair, as Giant fans, if we were to overpay Barkley, in a situation to where we're now back in salary cap hell for the next 6 years,
Thank you, Williams.
We're gonna find another GM.
Yeah. So
and it's just it's hard because there has to be a compromise, but at what point, who has to compromise? And I know the reports say they're like $1 or $2 million off. We'll never know. I mean, hopefully we'll know someday, but we'll never know. And also, Daryl, let me ask you. I know I keep saying I have the last question. I mean, maybe because you were in Carolina or in Buffalo. And I'm not saying that the Giants are sabotaging the market or the media, but how fair is it to players when certain leaks come out that they make outlandish claims? What was the Jones, Daniel? What do you want at 150 million?
Yeah.
And that wasn't the case, Like when you're a player and you hear something like that, I don't know if you've been in a situation like that. What does your agent tell you to do? Like, nope, don't.
I don't. Yeah, I've never been in a situation like that. I never have. But yeah, it's bullshit.
It's great,
I've never been. I'm glad I've never been in a situation like that. Yeah.
I'm glad I've never been in that situation either. Although I kind of wish I was, because then I'm getting paid. I get some kind of money. What are your final thoughts that you want to share with us Before, I mean, unless you want to stick around for a little bit, it's up to you.
I can. I just got to put my phone on the charger real quick. You said if people want to ask me questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to get my phone on. I'm like 8%.
Oh, okay.
I can stick around for like 10 more minutes.
Okay. All right, I'm putting the link out as well. Let's see, I got the private stuff. Okay.
I actually have a question for Daryl when he gets
Okay. Yeah.
I'll go ahead and get set up. I'm not gonna, get on you.
I just think I think it's interesting now that podcast came out about him talking.
Do I got to move or am I good?
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, sorry. I'm just trying to. Is that good or do I need to move? I can move.
Okay, Dash got a couple questions. Yeah, I think right there is good. If you tilt your phone a little bit towards you more, you should be all right.
Sorry about that. My phone about to die. I didn't even realize.
No worries.
I'm good.
All right.
And also too, would you be willing to come to my house if I have a cookout?
I might, if I'm free, I might.
Okay. All right. You said yes, so I'm gonna hold you to it.
So what I wanted to ask you is, and I played both sides of the ball in high school.
I got you, Dash.
And I know high school isn't the same as the pros, but I gotta ask, and in my eyes, when I watch a game, the perception is that defensive linemen and the defense in general they're like super violent, just ball hawks. They want to get on the ball, blah, blah, blah. What I see is that offensive linemen are probably the most violent players on the field. What is your take on that? And again, try not to be biased.
No, that's 100%. I'm sorry, these lights, but no, that's 100% because the only time I think a defensive lineman is violent if they're bull rushing me. Mm-hmm. Honestly. So, but we're violent in run game and pass game. D linemen nowadays are trying to work our hands. They're trying to get our hands down. They're trying to swat our hands out or get around us. You know what I mean? Yeah. So no, I think definitely O-line is definitely the most violent on the field, 100%.
Yeah. I think when you talk about the hand movements and all, it kind of reminds me of Greco-Roman wrestling. It's all about the hands and the positioning of the hands and, what you're using to push off and stuff like that.
Yeah, 100%. Again, these D linemen are looking to knock our hands down foremost. Or if they're gonna bull rush, they're gonna try to set up the bull rush. You know what I mean? Right. In my opinion, when I played, I liked when guys bull rushed me because I was bigger. I weighed like 350, so I was like, yeah, just run down the middle of me. I'm gonna stop you. But nowadays they're gonna try to get to your edge, and get to the quarterback.
Yeah.
Oh, let me. Okay, hold on. First off, Coach Ed, he said he loves your shirt. Where can somebody?
If you want to cop some merch, go to my website, man. The shirt's on there. We ship out too.
There you go. You answered my question. Hold on, Dash. All right, let me bring Dash is a Dallas Cowboys fan. Go ahead, Dash. What's up, man? Long time no see.
Yeah, literally. So at first I had 2 questions, now I have 3. So first question is, what do you think about the Dallas Cowboys?
Is he asking me?
Yeah. He ain't asking us.
Yeah.
He knows how we think about the Dallas Cowboys. He ain't asking us.
I honestly thought, what round did they make it to last year? Was it the second?
Yeah, divisional round, yeah.
I honestly thought they were going to make it to the conference round. I honestly think they're going to be good again this year. I think Dak is going to have a better year, to be honest. That defense is still going to be good. The O-line is going to be better because I think Tyron was hurt last year, most of the year.
Yeah, but you got to think too. Like Zach Martin is, a little pissed off about his contract.
Yeah,
I saw that. Yeah, that's the big blow if Zach Martin sits out. But I think as long as everybody stays healthy, I think they're gonna have a good year, man. I think they're gonna have another good year. I think Dak is actually gonna have a better year than last year. Knock on wood.
And for me, I just hate the Dak hate because can you hear me well or no?
Yeah, I can barely hear you. I can't.
All right, sorry about that. But For me, I hate the Dak hate, and I just love your honesty. Honest. How do you say the word honestly?
Yeah, that's a weird word. Honestly,
Yeah,
your honesty. You like his
yeah,
honesty.
honesty. There we go. Thank you.
Yeah.
But I love the honesty. So the next question is, when you played against the Cowboys, which player was the hardest to like defend?
Great
Oh,
question.
oh my! So I was going against DeMarcus Lawrence the whole game, and that was coming off an injury though. But no, he was nice. Yeah, he was really good. So I mean, yeah, DeMarcus Lawrence. I'm glad. Last year he had a good year. I know y'all probably looking at me right now, Sneaky Junior, but I'm glad he had a really good year last year because that's the player he is, man. He's really good. I really respect him as a player.
Lawrence, he actually did me a favor. He actually created a Dallas Cowboy hater. There was a game that a Giants fan walked up to him and wanted him to autograph something.
Yeah, I saw that.
And he was like, he said, "Wrong jersey, son," and kept walking.
A little kid.
And
no, it was a little kid.
Yeah, it was a little kid. Yeah. Do I have it? I don't think I have it here. Oh, wait. I do. Here we go. Here. Check it out.
Yes. Come on, yes.
Get the right jersey, sir.
Marcus.
Oh my goodness!
Brutal.
I love it.
Brutal.
I love it. And that kid drove, and I know Miguel. Okay. I know the kid. I met the family. Great family. The Giants hooked him up, right? I mean, he met Barkley and he got like the red carpet, which he deserved. And that kid now hates the Dallas Cowboys. And I love it. I love it.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, Dash. Yeah. Do you have any questions, man?
Well, the second question just kind of followed up to my other question, so
okay, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm good now. I'm good with the question.
Are you good?
Yeah.
Hey, man, I've been watching your picks, and I saw the one. I didn't see the Giants one all the way through because right when you said we were going to lose to the Dallas Cowboys, I kind of went all of my life. But
yeah, I know.
I do. I do appreciate your honesty, and obviously. You are one of the realest Cowboy fans out there, and I have no hate for you whatsoever.
He's non-biased. I like that.
He is very non-biased. So, and Daryl, I know we didn't discuss this, which I should have. So, when since you've been on the show, when you get off the show, no matter what team you're on, you have to say the following. Dash, let me hear one time, man.
Before I do that, can I just show one clip of what Ant said yesterday on his show?
Oh yeah, sure. Go ahead.
You'll absolutely agree.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, let me see.
Let's see. Share screen. It's this one. Nope, not that one. Right here. All right.
I see it right here. Okay, here I'll add it. Here we go.
All right. Well, you'll absolutely agree. Like I mentioned about Zach Martin not showing up to training camp. And I said I would absolutely hate to lose this player because he's been with us for 13 years, best guard in the league. So this is what he said.
This is how I feel about contract. If you sign a contract, shut your mouth.
Yeah.
Shut your mouth. You basically said at that time that for this amount of years, each year I'm going to accept this amount of money. That's an agreement. That's what you said. Nobody said, "Oh, if you become a Pro Bowler, you get this." Those are called incentives. So if that's not in your contract, sit down, shut up, and play for what you signed on. I cannot stand when players, and this includes Giants, I cannot stand players that'll sign a contract and then want to renegotiate because they made the Pro Bowl. Well, if there was a thought, if you believe in yourself that much, you should have made that known when you were ready to sign your contract that you had signed already. When you signed, and this is where I back the owners, when you sign that contract, you basically say, that's what I'm going to do for that amount of years. That's it. So I think the owners bend the knee a little bit to some of these players because they're afraid of them sitting out or whatever. My feeling on that is sit out. You'll get fined and you won't get paid because you are under contract. So not only now are you going to miss out of the money that you're getting for the season, you're also going to get fined. So now you're negative, you're making your pay negative.
Yeah.
So I have no sympathy, whether it's a Giant, any team, any of the 32 teams. I have no sympathy for you. Don't care. You signed a contract, live up to it. If you make it to that end of the contract and you think you got exactly, Robert, I'm sorry, exactly. Honor your contract. Because I'll tell you what, can an owner negotiate if you're a piece of shit after they give you a nice big contract? The answer to that is no. Can they cut you? Absolutely. But again, that's something you have to deal with and restructure or restructure if you don't agree with the contract. You say something along the lines of, if God forbid I get cut, I still get this amount of money. And that's what guarantees are for. So when you sign something and you're guaranteed this much, don't expect more.
Yeah.
And just like the owners, they're willing to guarantee you this much money. So that means whether you play good or whether you play bad, you're getting that much money. And then they cut you, you're still getting that much money. So don't expect the owners to jump out of their skin because you think your contract should be changed. If I was an owner, thank God I'm not. But
So, I mean, this brings a really good point.
But it also
Dash,
goes back
in the clutch. Go ahead. I like that,
it also
Dash.
goes back to what we were talking about earlier. I look at the other side as well. Last night, we were just talking about that specific thing. And back to what we were talking about with Darryl earlier. When a team comes up to you after they've negotiated your contract, they don't have a right to do that either. The problem is like we talked about, they can cut you. So when again, I'm not trying to play one side. It's just that we were talking about last night. So again, my feeling is when an owner comes to you and says you want to take a pay cut, and you say no, like you did, then the owner starts looking at, well, okay, maybe we can get this guy traded, maybe we cut him, whatever. I think it's wrong on both ends when you have a set contract, and then you either want to negotiate or you want these guys to take a pay cut. I think it goes both ways. Now, if I'm wrong on that, that's fine. This is just a fan on the outside looking in.
No,
please,
I agree. I mean, the only thing, I don't know what Zach Martin's contract is. I mean, I don't know if he's up for it. He can get extended. I don't know. The other thing they could do it, but I don't know. I don't know the details.
All I know is that he's going to be a free agent in 2025.
2025. But when can he get extended? Or they could, I don't know, but I think they could restructure his contract to where they push some.
I'm pulling it up right now.
You know what I mean? I don't know, but
so right now, Zach signed a 4-year, it looks like $8 million contract with the Dallas Cowboys, including almost $5 million signing bonus and almost $9 million guaranteed.
No, that can't be right.
Yeah, that don't sound right.
Hold on.
That had to be
$8 million per year of the contract, or was?
Yeah, hold on. Okay, now I read the little headline on Google. Okay, here we go. My bad. Zach Martin signed a 6-year, $84 million contract with the Dallas Cowboys, including a $20 million signing bonus, $40 million guaranteed, and an average salary of $14 million in 2023. Martin will earn a base salary of $1.7 million and a restructured bonus of $11.8 million, and carrying a cap hit of $11 million and dead cap value of $28.6 million. So this year, 2023, his base salary would be 1.7. The restructure was 9.3. Cap hit is 11, and then the dead money is 28 million. And it says cash detail. Oh, that's because he got his guaranteed money. Looks like from that 80 million guaranteed, he's getting like 13. So the guaranteed money, do you get that all at one time?
It just
depends. But they break it down in the year, because that's what it looks like how I'm looking at that contract thing.
Yeah, they could break it down in the year. It could be a signing bonus, or
and
I would think they broke that down in years. You know what I mean?
And he's already restructured once already.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah,
And then he'll be a free agent like Dash said in 2025.
Yeah, that's tough.
If he already restructure, I don't know if they can restructure again, but at the end of the day, I mean, they can't do nothing about it. They can't do nothing about it.
I mean, I think it's I would imagine for a player, if they restructure and then the team back end loads the money, then it might be worth it. But if not, then
For me, I just want to bring up what Ant said yesterday.
Okay.
And I don't listen.
And I said, and Daryl, I can't tell you. For me, I really appreciate the knowledge that your experience and that you're kind of educating us on this whole process, because as a fan, we don't know.
Yeah,
we don't. When we see 140 million for 2 years, we see 70 million each year, and that's not the case. That's not the case. And I can't tell you how much I thank you for breaking that down for us. And it sucks to the fact that because basketball, all those contracts are guaranteed.
Yeah,
like all of them.
Yeah.
And well, let me ask you this, Daryl: if all the NFL contracts were guaranteed, well, one, do you think that can happen? Do you think there's a way that can actually happen? And if so, what would, I mean, in your perfect world, right, as an NFL player, how can contracts be guaranteed? I'll just say that.
I mean, I would guess it would just be from the revenue from the fans. If the NFL is making enough money, I mean, that's the only thing I would think, but I don't know. I really don't know, to be honest.
I know.
I think in that situation too, you'd almost have to eliminate the cap.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. You would have to.
Yeah.
You would have to. So I don't want to keep you too much longer. You've been on here for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
But now I can also say the outro.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. Dash, please tell or you be the example for Daryl.
Yeah. So nice seeing you again for I don't know how long.
It's been a minute, but it's good seeing you, Dash.
But hopefully you get back on.
Yes, sir.
And
Tuesday.
let's go Giants. Oh!
I appreciate you. So what he did actually? So we have a person that does the standard. I mean, she's like the standard of.
That's the Chiefs fan from earlier.
Oh, so okay. Hold on a second. Let me bring her in for a little bit. I thought the audience could ask questions. Sneak. Well, Chris, I've been waiting for you, Chris. So I put out the link like 3 or 4 times. I thought you were gonna click on. I'm gonna put. You better hurry up because I don't want to keep Daryl too much. He got a brand new baby. He ain't sleeping out throughout the night.
Wifey's probably like, "What the hell is going on?"
It's like, who you talking to, Steve? Well,
Sneaky G man.
Yeah, Sneaky. Oh yeah, don't say Sneaky G man because then she'd be like, sounds hideous. Like, well, Sneaky's a guy and he wear khakis. Chris, I put the link out there anyway. So we were talking about the AFC Championship game, and that was your last game, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh my God, I'm trying to take this off. This thing is acting funny. Okay, there we go.
Sorry, real quick.
Oh no, you're good. And that was you said that was your last game, right?
Yeah, that was my last game.
And what's your takeaway from that game? What you can remember?
My takeaway is that we were going to go to the Super Bowl. I know we had one more game left, but I was like, okay, we're about to beat the Chiefs. I don't think we could have lost. In my head, I was like, we're not about to lose this game. Josh was playing crazy. He was playing lights out. We just completed like the most impossible 2-minute drive ever.
It was crazy.
I was on the clock. And then, we went to overtime. I forgot what happened before that to get to overtime.
13 seconds happened.
Was that
Sorry.
the 13 seconds? Yeah, that was the 13 seconds. Yeah, that was the 13 seconds. So that happened. I was like, oh my gosh. But I still thought we were going to win. But then you guys got the coin flip. And then I think Tyreek went off after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's a question for you. So did you know that was your last game before it happened? Or was it something you mulled over after the game?
After that, I'm not gonna lie. My first impression was like, "Yeah, we lost, but I'm about to go on vacation." I'm retired now. I can say it now. I was like, I'm about to go home. I'm about to go relax. I'm tired. It's been a long and stressful season for me and my family. So, and then the second thing I thought, I was like, "Yeah, I'm about to come back and be a very good right guard because I finally got comfortable, at right guard. So I was like, yeah, I'm about to come back and dominate." I was like, we were already established out there. We had a house and everything. I was like, I'm about to come back and dominate. I didn't even think we weren't going to come back. Yeah.
And does it get cold in Buffalo? I know that. That's stupid.
I love the people of Buffalo. I love the fans, but it is very hard to live in Buffalo if you're from the South. If you're from Texas, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the snow. Oh my! Like we had a mountain of snow in our front yard, taller than me. You know what I mean? Just a big ass mountain of snow. Like, and then like the sun stops coming out, man, around like after September. I feel like it's hard to live there, bro. It's very hard, but what makes it fun to live there is the fans and the organization. That's what really makes it fun to live there and the people there.
Yeah, he ain't lying about that snow either, because last year they just had a huge snowstorm where it literally dropped 6 feet of snow.
Yeah. So I actually lived in Seattle. So I know exactly the Pacific Northwest was, on the solar solstice, June 21st every year.
Summer solstice?
The summer, is it the solar? What'd I say? I say summer or solar?
You said solar.
You said solar.
Well, it is the solar solstice, right?
Summer
I don't
solstice.
know, actually.
The summer. Anyway, the longest day of the year. Yeah, it literally did not get dark until like almost 12 o'clock at night, like almost at midnight, and it was crazy. And it still stayed light out.
Oh, that's crazy
for the whole time. But Chris did have a question, and it is in the comments. So let me see if I can find it. Okay. So Dallas Cowboy Chris says, and it states, I played all 3 positions on the offensive line. I'm sure you did. Also, what was your favorite position on the offensive line? Did you play center?
Hey, for me, I like a challenge, so I'm still going to say right tackle was my favorite. Because blocking, like, man, just being out there on the edge and being, like, on an island, bro, and blocking really good pass rushers and doing that the whole game, you feel like a fucking badass. I'm not going to lie. But the easiest for me, once I got it down, I felt like right guard was easy and it was still fun to play too. But I would say right tackle for me was my favorite.
Okay. I'm going to put you on a spot real quick.
Yeah.
Who's the player that you went against a few times that you can say, I got him? He has nothing on me.
Oh, this is going to be good. This is an exclusive on Make It Count. Here we go.
Sorry, Daryl, I'm that guy.
So at a point, I mean, I felt like, and I don't want to disrespect nobody. Cam Jordan, I felt like I played him well every time, pretty much. Now I did have some help. I'm not gonna lie. Every tackle needs some help every now and then. I had chips, but like I felt confident going against him, and he's a really, really good pass rusher. He'll probably be a Hall of Famer, but I felt really confident going against him, man.
Good choice of words. I played really well against him.
Hey, I had my moments against him too, where he you know what I mean. But
we go in the backstage and he's back there going, "I whooped his ass."
Yeah, he'll probably, if he ever saw this, he'll be like, "What the?" You know what I mean? But he was a really good pass rusher, but I felt confident against because to me he was like a bigger guy. He was still fast, had amazing moves. Counter move on counter move on counter move, but I felt better going against bigger guys, you know what I mean? And so I just felt more confident going against him.
And who was the one player that you're like, Like the schedule comes out and you're like, this you just.
So it was fucking TJ. I'm sorry, I'm cussing. It was TJ Watt.
Oh.
So
Really?
So it's my first year. This guy's he's really good, bro. So the first year I was like, okay, I think we had him on a Monday night or a Sunday night game, so I had extra time to prepare. So I took the whole week, every day, every walkthrough seriously, watched film, everything. So I played him good. He got his, but I played him really good. I probably played him the best out of anybody that year. Okay. So the schedule comes up next year. Motherfuckers, the Steelers. And guess what? It's the first game of the season.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's the worst.
And Dave, again, I love Dave's, but he said we're coming out throwing the ball, and I'm just sick to my stomach, dog. It's one of those fans I felt hopeless. I'm not gonna lie, I felt sick. So the second time he saw me, he made sure he dominated me. I'm not gonna lie.
And who was the best trash talker that you played against?
Ooh.
People didn't really talk trash against me. I would say TJ did that second game. No, sorry. TJ, that second game talked a lot of trash to me. But yeah, people didn't really talk trash to me a lot. They didn't really talk trash. Sorry, that's crazy.
They didn't want to get pancaked.
Yeah.
But I didn't really talk either unless somebody talked bad. But people didn't really talk trash to me.
And McNugget, I'm sorry. Do you have any questions for Daryl?
Okay. I know you played the Chiefs in that game. Like, I'm trying to think of a question though. Was that like the hardest game against the Chiefs because it was like back and forth? Would you say, or were they all like the same?
No, that was the easiest game. Like, it was crazy. That was an easy game. It was very easy. It was weird. And I just think it was one of those games where it's just an offensive game, both teams are just going to score points no matter what. You know what I mean? So I was having a really good game. I felt like everybody on offense really was too. It was an easy game.
Yeah, when offenses are going back and forth like that, and you guys are running up numbers, like you really have nothing to say to the offensive lineman. Like, but I guarantee you're giving the D a bunch of crap at halftime and after the game.
Yeah.
Well, McNugget, let's set the standard, and so he knows.
All right.
What to say? Let me hear it one time.
Let's go Giants! Ow!
I appreciate it. Have a good one. So I do have. Hold on a sec here. Okay, yeah, let's think. I do want to let you go. Hold on a sec. Okay, Coach. Hold on. Let me see. Come on, work for me. There we go. So Coach said, did Daryl add butter and syrup to any of those pancake blocks?
Come on now. Come on now.
I don't think so. But I got to tell you, though, at IHOP, that, what is it? That, not the almond, but the pecan syrup. Man, that's fire. That's fire. So Daryl, I appreciate you coming on, man. Of course, we'll keep in contact because I'll let you know when I'll be bringing Nick over. It'll probably be next weekend. We were gonna go to, and guys, you're gonna hear it from here, right here. We were gonna go to the Giants training camp, but we made a decision to kind of nix that for this year.
They're sold out.
Yeah, well, I was able to get. I'll probably give my tickets away. I'll do a giveaway or something. But yeah, if you want them. Oh, but before I let you go, you want tickets to Saturday night?
No, I'm not gonna be able to make it. I'm actually going. That's crazy. I'm going up there tomorrow though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell Coach Coles I said what's up when you see him.
I will.
Yeah.
And they're going to the playoffs next week too?
It's this Saturday, actually.
No, playoffs is this Saturday?
Yeah, this Saturday and next Saturday. And
Okay, I hope they win. So yeah, we can go. Hopefully, I can go next week though.
okay. And
Yeah.
and if I got tickets, man, I got you.
Yeah, just let me know, brother.
So anybody, I mean, this is Coach Williams. If you want to get his shirt, you know where to look. Look him up on his merch. And tell everybody where they can find you.
Go to www.trenchmobwith2bsacademy.com. TikTok, Instagram, Trench Mob Academy, Facebook, Trench Mob Academy, and I'm on Twitter as well.
And if you can't remember any of that, just hit me up, and I'll give you his handle on all those. Daryl, thank you so much for giving us an hour and 40 minutes of your time, and just kind of making us that much more knowledgeable of the game we love the most, the good, bad, and the ugly of the game, and also get to know Dable just a little bit, know how competitive he is. That's always, you always want your coach to be that much competitive. So,
yes, sir.
That being said, can I hear it one time?
What am I supposed to say? New York Giants, go New York Giants, woo!
Well, it's let's go Giants, and then yes, the Ric Flair.
Let's go. Let's go Giants. Woo!
I'll take it, brother. Have a good night. Thank you so much, man.
Appreciate
Be
y'all,
good.
Man. You have a good one.
Good guy, man. Really good guy.
That oh yeah, man. First time, we talked on the phone, and of course I got his information from the coach, from Nick's coach, and to get him.
Is Dash still in the backstage?
Yeah, he is. But I need to bring on Raphael.
No, I just wanted to ask. Yeah, I just want to Dash. You can put it in the comments. I just wanted to ask: was that your way of trying to see if I would backtrack on my statements from last night? Because clearly, you see, I didn't do that.
Oh, I didn't take that. El Capitan.
Well, I don't think Dash would do that. I just think he was busting chops.
Yeah.
Oh man,
it's been a minute. How you doing?
It's been a minute, and I was watching your show because yesterday I just went to the show with Ann, and of course I just wanted to make it short. And well, it's been a while, and I cannot wait for this football season. And I'm gonna tell you something because right now we have Jimmy Garoppolo and Davante Adams, but the combination between both is gonna be on this season. It's gonna be very crucial. It's gonna be crucial because I know.
Why are you shaking your head? You don't think Garoppolo, Jimmy G? I'd say Jimmy G.
Jimmy G. He's a good quarterback.
Okay.
He's a game manager. He's not going to go downfield when it comes to Davante Adams like everybody thinks he is. And if he does, it's only going to be a few plays. Everybody knows that Jimmy Garoppolo, for the most part, is a dink and dunk quarterback.
Yeah, exactly. But those things are gonna happen like this one. But I need to improve about all the defense and the offense, and I guarantee that the linebacker room is gonna be fully with Robert Spillane, Luke Masterson, and of course Devon Diallo. Because I remember that Devon Diallo in the first season was really nervous because he didn't understand about the system right now. But at the second season, he needs to improve it to say, "Hey, I got this for it already." And believe me or not,
good question.
This is gonna be a very interesting about the linebacker room, because if you have Robert Spillane, if you had Luke Masterson and Devon Diallo, then the linebacker room is gonna be really explosive.
So I don't know if you follow these guys. They're awesome. The two giant.
I think so.
I hop on their show every now and then.
Giant Goofball. Let me know if I follow you. Please call me out, and if I don't, I will.
I had the opportunity to watch them on the show, and that was the live stream that I just hopped in.
And I would love to go on their show, of course. Enoch, I'm going to bring you on right now.
Hello.
So I want to know what this news is.
Yes. Did you hear about what Saquon Barkley said the Giants front office yesterday? It might have been yesterday.
As far as the whole if he sits out or not type thing?
I guess he said F you to the whole Giants organization.
All right, so
he didn't. He didn't.
A lot of people are taking it. What he's saying is if he was that type of player, he could easily say F you to the Giants, F you to his team. But he did clarify, he goes, I'm not that kind of guy. However, he did say that, at first the question wasn't there about sitting out. He said, I never could see myself doing that. He goes, but is the question there? Yeah. So he's kind of letting you know something's got to get done here. I don't think he sits out, but I think he's just putting it out there to let everybody know, or make everybody feel like, I do have some kind of leverage. It could hurt him, but it's
to be honest, he doesn't have any leverage. He does. I mean, what he has to do, he has to sign it. Now, if he signs the tag that, week 1, that Monday, okay, I get it. I understand, but you don't want to go in a situation to where you lose the team, and you don't want to be a distraction or even a cancer. And I'm not saying Barkley's going to do that. I'm not. He is not that type of player. But you don't want to lose the locker room, because look, at the end of the day, I know money's a big deal. It's a huge deal.
What I'm seeing from
it's the root of all evil. But at the end of the day, you want to win a Super Bowl. If he goes out, if he comes out, plays on this tag, balls out, then he has more leverage than he did this year.
Then,
because
they have to pay that man.
Yeah, pay that man his money.
Exactly.
If he balls, if he balls out, because he had a successful season, and if I'm not mistaken, I want to say out of the 5 years contract, where he had 1,000 yard. I'll get you
all but 1 year, and that was the year he was pretty much out.
He was out, right? Okay.
Yeah. Well, here's another thing nobody's really brought up about the whole Saquon situation.
Hold on, Emac's been trying to say something for the last 5 minutes. Go ahead, man.
I've been looking at this guy's question. Says, do we even know if Jimmy G's plays this year? Heard that was in question.
I think that I was.
Isn't he coming off of an injury?
And broken
foot injury.
Yeah.
I want to see surgery.
Foot injury.
If you guys want to call me a liar about the Saquon news, all you want, I'm just letting you know.
We won't do that. We won't do that here on this show.
No,
I'm letting you know what I just saw on Facebook or.
Oh no!
No. We won't. No, we won't do that.
I think so. When it comes to situations like that, if you read a transcript of what the interview was, you can definitely misinterpret what he said.
Yeah.
But when you hear the validity in his voice and the way he talks about it in that actual interview, he doesn't come across as a bad dude.
All right, I'm just seeing what I'm seeing.
You may be seeing what you're seeing, and you may be interpreting what he's saying in a different way, which is understandable. And I just pulled that up too. Yeah, 3 out of the 5 seasons.
Okay.
His rookie year, 2018, he had 1,300 yards. 2019, he had 1,003. 2020 was when he got hurt throughout the year. 2021, he didn't even make 600 yards, and then of course last year he has 1,300. He's sitting at 4,200 yards right now. 4,249. Okay, for the Giants, that's just. And I can't remember how many total yards Tiki has. I think Tiki's in the 10,000s, ain't he?
I think so.
I think so too.
While you're looking that up, I just wanted to bring this up real quick.
Yeah, 10,499. Yeah.
Yeah. So I wanted to bring this up. I don't think a lot of people are. I think some people might. Thinking about the Saquon Barkley situation and whether he signs the tag and whether he shows up for training camp. Here's why I think he shows up for training camp. Because if he waits till the last minute, if he waits till the week before or the week of week 1, the game, it's going to be, it could very well, and I think it leans more towards an issue of the fact that he's not going to be game ready. He's not going to have, the physicality of when, they're practicing and preseason, and that could end up turning on him and he can end up hurt again.
Don't you guys think running backs have become a liability now today in the NFL because how they keep getting hurt? It is great liability.
I still think quarterbacks are a bigger liability when it comes to injury.
Yeah, and the turnover for quarterbacks are, what I think is it's quite cheap. You know what? You're right, Ant. And I'm going to say this. You're right about the about him going into training camp. You know what? If I was him, I would go to training camp. And here's why. That $10 million guaranteed.
Yeah.
If he knock on wood, if he gets hurt in training camp, he's still getting paid.
The reason I'm saying liability is for running backs because of fantasy. That's probably just me though.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Because wide receivers in the first round are so much more reliable now.
Let's see.
They're more
Tiki was
tougher.
Marshall Fault with 2 less seasons with an average per year, almost match both rushing and receiving TDs is the only difference. Yeah,
I agree.
And I think play styles are pretty important for position of players for fantasy. Like quarterbacks, mobiles are more important than pocket passing. Backs,
the game is starting to change that way. I mean, it's starting to. Because
running backs are definitely like receiving backs like Christian McCaffrey or Austin Eckler. And wide receivers.
Go ahead.
At wide receivers, you'll need a really good elite receiver one that can do everything. And then tight ends, you don't need blocking at all. You just need receiving.
Yeah, and I think quarterbacks like the Peyton Mannings, the Tom Brady's, like you said, the drop back pass. I mean, it's going to change. It's going to change.
Pocket passing quarterbacks have become a liability too.
He said that Josh Allen was the best scrambling quarterback. I was going to ask him about Mahomes and his ability to scramble, as well. So we're getting that close. EMAC, give me some of your final thoughts, man. What you got?
All right. I don't really have much, but I would say is if you guys, anytime y'all want to argue about my belief of the news, you can go ahead if you want to.
Challenge accepted.
Love you guys. Let's go Giants out.
Appreciate you, brother. Be good.
Mm-hmm.
El Capitan, what's on your mind?
Because I was just reading about it because the running back market has been crashing for several years. And I think it's really, really important because the situation between Josh Jacobs and Saquon Barkley, it's not the same. Because Josh Jacobs is very good and also Saquon Barkley. But if it comes to the market of running backs, has been crushing all the system for years. And that's a very huge impact for all these running backs. They have a great production. And that's what all that matters.
I got to ask you, who's your backup running back? Because I got a good feeling he's going to be your starter this year.
Okay, so I got a running back or the backup, which is between Samir White, Seals, and Britton Brown. Mm-hmm. I mean, they had to go for the training camp, but in my case of Samir White, it's going to be very slow for the last season, but I think it's going to be really important about this production season. I will see like more than Samir White's speed, athleticity, and everything because we had now 2 backup running backs, which is Britton Brown and Samir White.
Right.
Okay. All right, we're going to do El Capitan. It's always good to see you, brother. Let me hear one time, man.
And of course, I got to tell you something. Okay, so right now, I just dropped the link on my community tab on YouTube. And of course, El Capitan Rafael needs your help for my grandfather. And of course, I just dropped the link on the private chat of the Big Blue Band. And of course, they need all the support. Whatever you donated, $1, $5, $10. Right now, I'm going to drop the link on the chat to everybody else to help with my grandfather because he's still at the hospital, slowly recovering for COVID-19. But we need your help to whatever they donated, prayers, everything. So I'm going to put the link on the chat right here so everybody can help with this cause.
Okay, good deal. Thank you so much, man. And I'll be praying for your grandfather. Mm-hmm. Let me hear one time.
All right, let's go Giants. Out.
I appreciate you. And always good to see you, man.
Same, brother. I appreciate it.
And I did see your last comment. We could definitely talk about that next week too.
Yeah, for sure.
I love you, man.
This was fun, man. This was fun tonight.
Yeah, this was a good one. This was a good one. Love you, brother. Let me hear one time.
Love you too, man. Let's go Giants. Ow!
I want to thank everybody for watching. all 7 of you. I also definitely want to give a shout out to Darren Williams for taking time out of his day, making this happen. I feel so much more aware of the situation with Barkley, and of course, and it's going off of his experience. So tomorrow's Friday, guys. Enjoy the moment, enjoy the process. Although the process may suck, still enjoyed it sometime. I love y'all. I wish y'all nothing but the best. How about we do this again Tuesday? Okay, let's go Giants. Ow!
Is this thing on?
It's your boy Stefan, aka SneakyG.
Yeah. Lyrical assassin.
Let's go Giants.